What is going on, Movie Meals? Yes, this is the same shirt that I did for the last couple reviews. I'm wearing the same clothes. Clothes mean nothing when you're in quarantine. You might as well just keep wearing the same stuff until it just burns to a crisp from the lack of washing. But you all are probably the same as me, probably all trying to find stuff to do. Hopefully you guys are being able to catch up on any movies that you've seen, such as me. One of you guys, thank you so much, recommended 12 Angry Men to me. But I've already seen 12 Angry Men. I loved it the first time I saw it many years ago, but I decided, you know what? I'll just give it a rewatch. Why not? I promise not all of them will be rewatches. I will have new stuff coming soon, but just for right now, 12 Angry Men, that's a good suggestion. I think I'll give it a rewatch, see if I still enjoy it. And I still did enjoy it. I think it is such a very interesting movie. For those who don't know, it's about a group of men who are all jurors to a case of a kid who possibly killed his father, and they have to decide whether he's innocent or whether he's guilty. And all but one man, played by Henry Fonda, he was able to kind of try and not be, well, he was able to kind of see a possibility, if you would, that this kid might not have done it after all. It's not a matter to him on whether the kid is innocent, but it's just a matter of if he's not guilty, if there's that possibility that the kid is not guilty. And that's what I really was able to take away from this movie. It's not a matter of who's right or who's wrong, or if there is like such a black and white version, but it's just a matter of, even though the facts are there, like, is there a way to see past those facts and just dig a little deeper to see if some things are being skewed or some things are being misinterpreted. And really, that's what the story is all about. It's not about guilty or innocence. It's just about the guilty or not guilty. And I really like that. Whether you are in agreement that he is not guilty or whether you're in agreement that he is guilty, there's just so many different layers and explanations on how this case really could have played out its course. What I really liked about this too is that there's 12 men all in one room. It's hot. It's a miserable place to be in. None of them really want to be there, but they know that they have to get this over with. And even though it's in one room, each man only gets so much screen time or so much to say. There still is so much that you can take away from these characters. I mean, they're not exactly fully fleshed out, but it's enough to where you can relate to them as people, if that makes sense, to them as men. And there's some that you'll like, some that you'll dislike, or some that you don't have any certain idea of what to make of them, but they each have their own personality, each have their own distinction about them, and it really helps makes for some interesting character dynamics and just storytelling in general. The entire time I felt angry about certain characters. The entire time I really grew to enjoy certain types of characters. I felt claustrophobic the entire time. I felt tense at the intense moments when they're arguing about who's right and who's wrong between each other. I felt the heat that that was in the room, where it was just so hot. There's no air conditioning, only one fan and a couple of windows. I was able to really get that sense of them being in these tight quarters, not enjoying themselves at all. And I think thanks to some great camera work, it's a black and white film, but even though it's a black and white film, there's just so much great imagery and so many impactful scenes that you can take away by that alone. It's incredible at that time what camera work was able to do, and the cinematography was able to do so well. Cinematography, nothing to stand out about, but it's enough to where imagery is powerful and conveys what characters are thinking. It conveys who these types of people are that everyone's interacting with. So at the end of the day, I just was really still impressed by, even though this is such a small movie, just such a simple premise, that it just lends to a powerful message. It lends to creative characters. It lends to a dynamic that I think is still can be reached out for today. Like, in a world in internet where everyone thinks one thing is black or one thing is white, just on the left or the right side, but really it's just a matter of trying to have a middle ground of sorts, to where you can reason with one another, and you may not like their opinions, it may not agree with them, but together you can at least find a common middle ground. And that's really what I took away from this, and what I remember really liking about 12 Angry Men. So really, if no one else has seen this movie, please, I implore you to check this out. It's incredible. It's a must watch. And as always, thank you all for watching. Please keep doing so. And as always, thanks for watching Alex's mom.